And good morning. It is a wonderful morning. Yesterday was a windy morning. I'm not quite sure how windy it is out there today, but welcome to episode 16 of Vectors and Pixels. I had to look over and make sure I knew what episode it was. I'm Jeff Perryman. I am the artist for Chain Reaction Studios, and I'd like to welcome you to this live stream. Today we're going to continue working on the Skuttled logo in 3D, just for funs and grins, something interesting to do. And for those of you who may not know what Skuttled is, good morning, Jennifer. It's a game that me and a bunch of my friends came up with and are going to be having a Kickstarter in May for, and I thought it would be fun to take the logo character here. Boy, that's so shiny. I'm sorry if I blind everybody with that. Take that main logo character and turn it into a 3D model. It could be a complete disaster. It could be quite the experience, and it has been. I've had to relearn, as it were, several skills that I thought were ingrained in me from the get-go. But you know, when you don't do something for a while, you tend to forget all the little shortcuts that you used to do, and so I'm having to relearn a lot of that stuff. So that's why I say this could be a complete disaster because I've approached it completely wrong, or it could be just just a lot of fun, good place to have some funs and giggles together. But I thought I'd bring you along, see what happens. For those of you who are 3D modelers, I'm sorry. It has been a while since I've done this, and we're just kind of in the roughing it out stage, just kind of get the general outline and put things where they are. I started with a sphere. It was a very low poly sphere, and then from there I started moving the vertices that make up the sphere and then cutting lines in where I thought things needed to go, and started pushing and pulling. And then I added what's called a mesh smooth modifier onto it, and I'll show it here in a second. Which kind of tessellates the model, giving it much more polygons and stretches and puts tension on the surface of the model, which smooths it out, ergo mesh smooth, and gives you a little more to work with and gives you a better idea of what it is that you're going for. And it's the difference between hard surface modeling, low poly modeling, and high poly organic modeling. And I am not traditionally an organic modeler. Good morning. How are you doing today, Travis? We are working with hard surfaces, which are like cars and spaceships and walls, things of that nature, versus organic modeling, which are people and soft squishy things. People who work in Mudbox or ZBrush, for example, are what I call organic modelers, whereas people like me who do environmental pieces, I mean, a tree could be arguably a organic soft model thing, but typically you can use hard modeling skills in a video game to create trees and fire hydrants or whatever, and that would still be considered hard surface modeling. So anyway, let's flip on over to 3D Studio Max, and I've already got the progress that we had from the last stream here. I said I was probably going to work on it in between streams, and I never got the opportunity to do that. I am a bit hoarse and rusty because I have spent the President's Day weekend running around doing the thing that I love. One of the things I love doing most is playing at the local Ren Fair, and there's a lot of screaming, there's a lot of shouting, a lot of hooting, a lot of jeering, a lot of dust, because I live in a desert. Whose idea was it to put a Renaissance festival in the middle of a desert? It's been warm, but it's also been fun, and it's one of the, but one of the largest fairs in the nation. So if you get a chance, pop on out. But that's not why we're here. We're here to work on this guy. Which camera am I looking at? I only have one. This guy. So as you can see here, and it's kind of hard with all these lines, let me close out. That doesn't help, and that really doesn't help. Let's see. That seems to help a little bit better. this is kind of where we're at. It kind of looks like an alien from Area 51 at the moment. And to be honest, most octopus slash kraken do. But we've got an eyebrow ridge, an eye roughed out, and I do mean roughed out. Kind of working on, because as you can see, he's got these cheekbones here we're going to need to work on. And then this eyebrow ridge is kind of like a skull ridge that's exaggerated because of my cartooning style, that needs to be pulled out, and it looks like it needs to be much heavier than what I've got here. Now, I know the representation of this 3D model versus this 2D drawing are going to be, there are going to be some slight differences. It happens. But I want to try to get, good morning, Sam. How are you this morning? I want to try to get as close to what I've got going on here in this model. So I kind of gave him a little bit of a beak nose. It's just a little, that's going to be there. And I've kind of sort of got this here going on. And so what I'll need to do, and I think what today is going to be focused on, is at some point I'm going to be working on this edge of the model. I'm a bit rough today. It was a long and glorious weekend. Yes, I was commenting on our long and glorious weekend in the dust, in the desert. And I am sitting here with a very harsh, raspy, deep voice, which, you know, could be very good if I was a character actor, but I'm not. I'm doing a Scottish accent all weekend. It tends to do things to the back of your throat. And I do a bad one because it's like Irish, Scottish, very horrible American attempting an accent. And that's probably the closest I'll ever get to describing it, is an American attempting a horrible Scottish accent. Yeah, this, not my friend today. A couple of lozenges and it still hasn't broke up. But back to what we were talking about, I'm going to go back to a front view here. The other thing that I want to kind of work on, and I think I'll start with, is I want to cut in these shapes. This is what kind of turns him from just being an angry octopus to more of a kraken, is that he's got these little armored bone ridge plates, these two plates here in his forehead. It's kind of his Klingon showing. And I think I want to try to cut those in a little bit and see what I can make of those. So I'm doing this kind of blind as well, but that's okay. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get rid of the mesh smooth for the moment. Just turn that off. And this is our low poly model. See how horrible that is? Now technically, this should be almost as pretty as our finished model. So I do have a lot of cleaning up to do. We're just in the infancy of this, and there are so many things that need to be fixed. These points and vertices that are not even and matched, and looks like I've got some lines here that need to be added to. And there's just, I mean, this line here, I'm not even sure what that's about. I'm gonna have to figure that out and clean it up. But while we're just flushing it out, just kind of getting the silhouette of the model, that's gonna be okay. So with that in mind, and judging by this side of the model, I think, let me just get a better look here. You know what, that's really bothering me. Let's figure out what that is real fast, because I'm not even sure what that controls. Okay, that is his angry lines. Let's see if I can pull that forward a little bit so that we have a little better visually what's going on there. And if I'm talking too low, let me know, because like I said, long weekend, raspy voice, and I'm going to get down here and talk really soft because it's easier on my voice. And to be honest, I almost forgot I had a stream today. Okay, so that's why that's tucked back there so far, is to get that effect. And I'm not, boy, I've got a lot of cleanup on this model. Let's turn that off. I want to see where that vertex is. Alright, sometimes you just gotta pull on things to figure out what the heck they're about. Alright, for the moment I guess I'm gonna leave those alone, but they are gonna make my life a little more difficult down the road. I can pretty much guarantee it. But for now, okay, I'm fine, we can be heard, that's good. Thanks to the generous donations of fans like you, I have this wonderful microphone and this extremely wonderful setup and all kinds of toys to play with to go from scene to scene to scene. And that does bring me to the unfortunate truth of these kinds of things is that my art engine is caffeine fueled. There it is. Hey, Chet, thank you for liking the stream very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I was about to say, my art engine is caffeine fueled. And if you would like to help me along, help me with equipment updates, just getting me a cup of coffee so I can keep up this insanity that I do called art, you can buy me a cup of coffee at buymeacupofcoffee.com/chainreaction. Just go in there, do what you think is best. Hey, Sam, thank you for liking the stream. And go from there. But enough advertising for now. Let's get to this purple squid. Some coffee. I do hate that part, but it's an unfortunate truth that those are the kinds of things that help us move forward. And yes, thank you, right there. In the chat is buymeacoffee.com/chainreaction for those of you who are interested. Not a requirement, but I'm very grateful if you decide to go over there and check it out. All right, so as I said, I think I'm going to try to cut in, or at least start or try to cut in these bone ridges, which are what's going to make him less octopus, well, in this case, less Area 51. Okay, I can't take it. I got to do it. I'm going to change his color. Okay, more Area 51. Come on. It had to be done. I could stop right here and have just a complete alien thing going on. All right, back to blue. Object colors, gotta love it. All right, I'm gonna get out a, turn this off. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off. Let me rotate around here so I can see what's going on. So I want this outer edge. So I'm probably gonna start here, cut up, just kind of rough some things out here. Hey, Tim, thank you for liking the stream. I appreciate you. Another one of the Pantsless Pirates popping in and saying hi. What are the Pantsless Pirates, you say? Oh, go over to Facebook and check out Pantsless Pirates Gaming, and you'll see all the shenanigans. This effort has been brought to you by Pantsless Pirates. Pantsless Pirates, when you think of pantsless fun, think of pirates. Anyway, moving on. I'm kind of in a silly mood today, I can tell. And I'm getting no modeling done. So, back to what I was doing. I'm going to use my cut tool again. And this is going to be sloppy, I can tell. Let's take a look. Let's bring this back to front so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And according to the artwork, I'm probably going to have to cut from here to there and here. And then if this is not correct, ooh, that is way out there. That's probably too far out. I think that's too far out. I think I need to cut in. So here's the point there. And let's see, take a look here. I'm trying to figure out, and this is why I'm mumbling to myself, the best place. Okay, let's start with a vertice. Just to see. Yeah. That's better. Now I know this is going to arc. So let's put the arc there. Oh, this is where I wish I had another toy that I tend to use, so that I can move my screen without letting go of what I was doing. And we're going to roughly put that point there. Okay, well, at least I got it roughly okay. Boy, talk about rough. Okay, well, clearly that doesn't look anything like the artwork, but it does get me in the ballpark. Gets me something to work with, which is the ultimate goal. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to give you a starting point sometimes. So I'm going to manipulate my vertices. In this case, I'm going to move things along an edge. I kind of want to keep things here. This way I can move this, and it doesn't matter what I do, it's going to stay on that edge. And let's roll this over so I can see the artwork just a little bit better. So I know that edge is actually pretty high up here. And then we're going to bring... Whoa, why? Oh, because I'm using edge. The very thing I said, this is why I'm doing this, and then I go, why is it doing that? Because, you know, you're a retard, Jeff. Alright, let's bring these things around. And again, this is probably going to be a disaster. This is probably something I'm going to go, nope, we're going to rebuild. Ooh, why do I have a couple of vertices there? Oh, the cut tool does weird. Oh, look at that. That's odd. What's going on here? Well, a lot of this is because I'm going below the surface, so let's bring these. Or not. Alright. Well, this is going to be interesting. Working in 3D. Who knew? Alright. And this is really going to be rough, so let's throw in the mesh smooth just to see what it did. And see what... Oops, wrong button. See what it's going to give us to work with. How's everybody doing themselves out there? Ooh, that is ugly. Ooh, ugly. Gonna have to work on that. Ugly. Alright. Ugly, ugly, ugly. But again, it gives me something to work with. And I may completely have to start over just because that's not doing what I want it to do. And I'm not quite sure how to get to where I want to be. So, it was an experiment. And it may or may not have been successful. We'll see. Again, like I said at the beginning, it's been a while since I've done organic modeling, and it has been a while since I've done any kind of modeling, and this could be a complete disaster, and that's okay. Failure is an option. I'm not 100% sold that this is the way to approach it. I know I need to do something like this, but I think this model is one too simple when we get down to this version of the model, and I need to work on making this look better instead of relying on these extreme. See how I have this eyebrows just really extreme, just to kind of sort of get a shape. You know, this is an extreme shape to get a moderate effect on this eyebrow. And it works, but it's not efficient, it's not clean, and it's causing me these issues when we're trying to put in these ridges. So I think I'm going to remove that mesh smooth completely, make it go away. Actually, let's reverse a lot of things here. First, let's reverse all of those cuts. Hopefully I didn't go too far. My undo only goes back about 20 steps, and I think I hit it. So, alright. Not happy with that, so what I'm going to do... Oh, I hit saved like an idiot. I meant to reload the logo. Oh well, now we're stuck with it. We'll work with it. We will work with it. So, let's go ahead and get rid of that. My habit is to reach up and hit that save button, and I went to go, okay, I need to open a new file, and I saved instead of open file. And that's okay, we'll work with that. We're going to get rid of this, and we can get rid of all of this. This is easy. It's just annoying to do it this way. So there's a thing called target weld, where I can grab a vertex and weld it to another vertex. And, oh, it's because it turned itself off. I was like, why is it doing that? So, oh, it doesn't like me doing it this way. Alright, yeah, let's put you to there. Wow, really? You are just going to argue with me today. And he goes, yep. Okay, you know what? Since this one is giving me some grief, I'm just going to remove that. And then we're going to take my bridge tool. Where's my bridge tool? There's my bridge tool. We're just going to go, let's do it from the edge. Edge is a little bit easier to work with, at least visually for me. A lot of other people might argue, but for me the bridge tool's oh, that's right, there's a vert down there that needs to be closed. That's right, we can't do it that way because we actually have a try in here that we need to keep. So what we'll do is we'll use the same bridge tool. Doesn't stop us from using the tool, just stops us from doing the thing we wanted to do, the way we want it. It actually gives me something to work with here. Alright, so disaster. Absolute disaster. That's okay. Disasters are okay. Let's turn that off, thank you. And then let's unselect everything, please. Thank you. Disasters are actually a good thing because it forces you to rethink what it is you're doing. And in this case, this is not an insurmountable disaster. It's just an inconvenient truth, as it were. So let's spend the time that I thought we were going to be doing other things. And let's spend that time just kind of cleaning up this model. So I'm going to move things around so they make a little more sense. I mean, we're looking at the model like this, and we don't need these extremes like what we've got going on here. We can actually kind of get this model looking like what it is we're trying to model before we go and make it smooth and pretty and all that fun stuff. So now that's a vert that's been cut. That's why that looks weird to me, because I actually have a folded face from here to here. And let's play around with the turn tool real quick. I just want to see if, where's turn, there it is, turn. Let's see if that changes things a little bit in here. And if you've ever done any low poly modeling, the turn edge tool is your friend. I'm going to weld this vertex up here. Sometimes watching somebody model anything is like watching paint dry. Now, I have a lot of friends who say they enjoy these streams because of my melodic voice. And it helps them sleep. And I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but thank you. And for those of you who are watching, oh, I burnt my screen. Okay. For my melodic voice, thank you. What do I mean by I burnt my screen? I am using 3D Studio version 2012. You find it interesting? Yay! It helps me work. Ooh, really? Well, I am glad that I am useful in that regards. Well, I'm using 3D Studio Max 2012, which was one of the last few revs before they went to the cloud. Everybody went to the cloud at one point because I can make more money. I don't blame them, but it's difficult for me. Well, there's something about the way 3D Studio Max draws its viewports. See, now you don't see it, but for me, right here, before I moved the model to one side in this image, I popped up by accident a set of quick screens, and what it did is what was underneath them got burnt, so that when they close, as long as I don't touch the screen, I will never know. And I can click on something. Why am I not clicking on it? Why am I not clicking on it? Until I move the model and go, Oh, I have a huge square right here that is burned, and it's going to make it a little bit difficult for me to work because this one covers a good chunk of this window, and this is, I mean, yeah, I could turn these other windows and use these other windows, but, you know, I'm old and set in my ways, and I kind of like working in just a couple of windows. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and save our progress. Save, just make sure. And then I'm going to go ahead and close the software, and I'll bring us back over here to the large camera while that happens. And I'm going to let that screen, because it's, even though the software's closed, that screen is still in the middle of my desktop. And it's a conflict between Windows 10 and I assume above. Arr! Oh, I should see what, you should see what I'm working on. Oh, wait. For those of you who are watching this stream after the fact. Oh, and my camera locked up. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's going to be a day of errors. Look at that. Okay. Let's see if I can fix this on the fly. Give me just a second. Oh my goodness. This is hysterical. I'm going to deactivate my camera. So don't panic if it just blacks out. This is by design. This black screen is by design. I'm going to activate the camera again and hopefully, or not. Oh my goodness, what a day of errors. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me just 1 second. I'm going to fix my camera issue. It'll be just a moment. And I do apologize. Oh. Well, for me, this is a Monday. And if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So I'm going to unplug my camera. I'm going to replug in the camera. You like how I'm narrating everything? I also sound like I'm, you know, far, far away. Well, I'm hoping that by doing what I did, allow me to work inside here. Deactivate the camera. Activate the camera, and we're back. Oh my goodness, what a kerfuffle. Software's not working with me. I can't seem to model what I want to model. Okay, I'm going to close out my software and make it better. I know, distance narration. Oh my goodness. It is a Monday for me. I know it is a Tuesday for you, but for me, this is definitely a Monday. I am now going to reopen up my 3D Studio Max. Distance narration is always the best. It's all dark. I know, right? So anyway, what I was about to say is that Breathing Karma said, you should see what I'm working on. Oh, wait. He just said laugh out loud, but I'm putting in the because I know that's exactly what he was saying. In the not so distant future, boys and girls, Chain Reaction Studios will have a website where you can buy, purchase, and interact with me and my art and our version of games that we're going to be doing. Yes, I am correct, he says. Was correct. This is but one thing that I have planned. I do have other little odds and ends, little, you know, quick little fast games. But in the future, there will be more games besides just this card game. Because you're only as good as the last thing you did, right? Yeah. Yay, website. Yes, it is in progress. And Breathing Karma is responsible for its epicness. No pressure, man. Of course, he and I need to get together and talk art and talk verbiage and that, this, and the other thing, but he's been very gracious in helping me out with his skills and helping us grow and this community to grow. Now 3D Studio is back. I'm going to load that thing back up here. Give it a second. There we go. And I'm going to bring us back over. Oh, it's epic. You know, when your designer is excited, you know it's going to be epic. Absolutely true. And I do encourage you to do things that are experimental but would be fun. So, I said that. I may regret it, but I said that. My family and my friends would never let me down. Then what? The designer gets excited. When the designer gets excited, I get scared. I do. I get excited too, but I'm scared. It's like, ooh, what is it going to be? All right. Ooh, it's on that side of the screen. No, I can actually point to, because I have a monitor here, which is where all this stuff is. That's where the camera is. I see that. And then I have the monitor where I'm actually working. And in this case, I can go point at that monitor, and I'll be pointing at the screen that you guys see. Hey, that actually worked for once. All right, back to what we were attempting to do. You know, anybody who watches these streams after the fact, I think Breathing Karma is way too excited. And that makes me excited. I love it. I love it when people get to flex their artistic side. And this is what this channel is about. I am, of course, having all kinds of issues, but I'm having a ball even with those issues. All right, so let's get back in here and let's clean this up. And whoever's watching this after the fact, it's like, I came here to watch somebody work onto the 3D model, and all they did was blabber about everything but, and they never got around to working on the model, and you know, what the hey? And I don't blame them. Oh, hey! Mary Buck, yay, thank you very much for liking the stream. I'm very appreciative for all the support of family and friends. Alright, I've got a vertice that's really down here because when I was using the mesh smooth, it was the only way to kind of get the effect that I was wanting. And I think we're learning that pushing this a little too deep and far makes working on this model difficult, and in the end gives us a subpar effect with the model. So the reason I'm starting, quote unquote, starting over is that I think I need to go back to a clean version of this model. Oh, I did it again, but that's okay. That one's not so bad. It's not a screen I'm using that much. All right. I gotta quit right-clicking on these viewports, which brings up those mini menus, which is causing me the issues that I'm running into. Let's do front, and let's see what we got going on here. All right, cleaner. I wouldn't say it's clean, cleaner. And let's get rid of this. This is roughly the silhouette I want, but it's not what I want. And I know that, oh man, I gotta quit doing that. I've done it twice since I've rebooted and we went through the camera kerfuffle. That's a technical term, boys and girls, kerfuffle. It keeps me from saying the other one, which we all are thinking. But this is a family show, not a family making show, right? Actually, this is rated 18 and over because we will be talking about adult content sometimes. And it's okay. We will talk about anything and everything. Cabbages and kings, as they say. So now I'm turning and looking at the model. And I did this out of convenience because there was a vertice to work with there. These lines I've got running from the eyebrow. I mean, they work. And I'm going to probably have to refine them a little bit more. Ooh, what happens when I turn this edge? Okay. But, oh, wow. That is messed up. Yeah, that is not happy. That is not happy. So, We're going to refine this so that it's not as much of a disaster. And trust me, this is something bad waiting to happen. And then I need to try to keep as much squares. Let's do something here real quick so I can illustrate what I'm talking about. I'm going to hide that select piece of geometry and then come back over to this. So it's not as bad as I thought it was. We have a single vertex here that is supporting 3 tries, which is not bad if you're doing low poly modeling or you're doing something for games. It's okay, but it's not a good practice from what I understand doing the high poly stuff, because you want to keep squares. You don't want that many triangles, because just the way the smoothing groups and the smooth mesh smooths and all that works, it can cause issues. And I'm seeing those issues a little bit here with the way I built it. Even as a low poly model, what's going on with this eyebrow ridge is, well, honestly unacceptable. So I'm going to do a quick fix here. I wouldn't call it a fix. It is a direction to correct this problem. And I'm not 100% certain it will be the correct solution. But what I'm going to do is I've cut this polygon, which of course changes this immediately. And it looks like I've also got a lot going on in here. We've got a poly, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges. And that's not good either. So we're going to cut from here to there. And again, and I should try to get rid of these tries. But for the moment, just trying to minimize the issue I've got going on here. Again, I still got a 5 vertice poly, which are not good, but not bad in some cases. I'm going to do that just so I can see what's going on here a little bit better. And yeah, the way I built this, because I was in a hurry to get going, probably wasn't the best to do. So we're refining the shape a little bit. And to be honest, I don't even know if I'm doing it the right way. Wow, what is going on there? That is not what I was after. Let's go back to edge. There we go. Do we have a... Yeah, we do. Okay. Yeah, this is a train wreck. Now that I'm looking at it, this is a train wreck. Let's go to the big screen so you guys can see a little more what's going on here. Just this area right here, and I'm having to look over here because my screen is burnt with 2 menus, is the problem. This is the you are the problem. So I need to do some creative thinking here, because all of this and this whole section right here is a train wreck. Absolute train wreck. Hey Travis, thank you for liking the stream. Travis, better known as Breathing Karma, is our web designer for the new web page, which is in the making and coming. What is going on here? You know, you do something, you go to bed, you wake up, you look at it again, you go, what was I thinking? And that's exactly what's going on here, is what was I thinking? So let's go ahead and unhide all. Duke. Unhide all. Boink. And let's see what this, and go back to our little mini screens. Let's take a look here. I am going to have to push and pull and create so much pain. So much pain. So much pain. Yeah, I'm going to have to tear this whole section out here, and it's okay to do that. My only hesitation from for doing that is I have made the mistake. Maybe I can correct it. So I have everything coming to this point, which is part of the eye. And if I just push and pull things, then I start moving the physical eyeball area. Now I know I may model that, or I may tear that out, cut it out, and build something behind that. But for the moment, let's pretend I know what I'm doing and I have a plan. And that's always a mistake to assume I have a plan. But we're going to go ahead and use the cut tool. You'll notice I'm only using a few tools. I mean, you don't have to master every tool to be an effective modeler. It does take practice, and by practice I mean you need to do it every day, and I haven't been, and it's showing because I am having these are minor issues, but I am having these issues. Let's pull that out. And do I want to go? Yeah, I'm going to go out this way with it. And it's not, it's not like I can't recover from these issues, and I'm going to learn something. And usually when this happens, I find a direction I was not expecting, and suddenly I found something new with the way I'm approaching what it is I'm working on, and that's always exciting to me. When you're painting miniatures, for example, and any of you out there who do paint miniatures will understand this, it's going to look like ass until it doesn't. You'll be going along going, oh, this looks like crap, this looks like crap, and then you do like the one little thing, and then it doesn't look like crap anymore, and you're like, hey, that's not bad. And it's the same for 3D modeling. It's going to look like crap, it's going to look like crap, and then, hey, suddenly it doesn't look like crap. What did I do? Here we go. That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do this. Here we go. So I am looking for that, hey, it doesn't look like crap moment. I may or may not get it, but we're going to work towards it. For me, it's still something's going on here that's not grokking with the rest of the model, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I may get rid of this triangle right here because it's not necessary, and I do want to try to get rid of triangles. So let's target weld this vertex back into there. That gets rid of that triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I was never a good organic modeler. Not supposed to have a lot of triangles, not supposed to have a bunch of 5 vertice polygons, which I've clearly got at least one right here. And I've got so many things going wrong. But that's okay, because it's going to look like ass until it doesn't. And that's kind of part of this process. And I just need to decide what's going on here. Dink, dink, maybe. And there's also a danger to over-refining the model, especially considering I'm going to be using a mesh smooth to kind of give it its look and feel. But I also might learn not to rely on that mesh smooth. I'm sure there's a lot of professional modelers out there going, yeah, you don't need that. Why are you using that? That's garbage. Don't use that. Just model it. And I'm like, yes, sir. But it does help me get down the road and kind of get a general feel of what I want. And again, I'm at the point in the model where I'm literally just pushing and pulling each vertex just a little bit here, a little bit there. And it doesn't look like I'm doing a whole lot. But all these little bitty adjustments will go a long way to making a much better model. At least that's my hope. We'll see if I'm successful. Bring this out just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. So, the lesson learned is I was going to rely on Mesh Smooth too much. I have used Mesh Smooth to create organic models before in the past, but I've been modeling every day so much. So it was second nature to do certain things. Well, as I said in the beginning of this podcast, when you haven't done something for a while, you forget all the tricks and the tips and the little shortcuts that you come up with. And that's what's happened here, clearly. It's okay because I'm going to relearn those things and figure out the best way to approach this model. Bring it back down there. You know, I might move something and then I'll end up just moving it back, kind of thing, and that's okay. I think I'm going to continue with my simplification. I know this was there for a reason, but right now that reason is not apparent. So I'm going to clean up my polygons just a little bit to get rid of, hopefully, future issues. And like here, we've got a bunch of polygons for whatever reason. I did that for a reason. That reason's not apparent at the moment, and it's not needed. So we're just going to put those back over there. Maybe I did need those. Hang on. No, maybe. Hang on. Let's put those back. What am I looking at? Why is this giving me a weirdness? Stop it. Why am I getting a cage? Are you guys seeing that? You are. See these orange lines? It's like almost like I have a mesh smooth on there. Let's turn that off. Alright. Just being weird. There we go. That's what I'm after. So there is bits in here I like that I want to use. And let's go ahead and target weld that again to there. No, actually no. Let's turn it back on. Let's go from there to there. And it gives me that cage again. Oh, show cage. I don't want to see the cage. Turn the cage off. There we go. That's what it was. I had something turned on I didn't really need. Alrighty. And I really think we're getting closer. I'm going to turn on my edge so that when I move this vertex, it's just going to move along the edges. That's not the direction I want. Let's grab the other one. That's closer. Better. And just trying to get that eye where I want it to be. There we go. That's a little better. Just turn that off before I forget. Are you guys having fun? I hope this is entertaining. I'm at this point 100% certain it's not overly educational, but it is getting there. And for those of you who are going to be joining us after the stream, welcome for getting this far. That's about all I can say. It's welcome to getting this far. All right. In the spirit of cleaning things, I'm going to cut from here. Oops. So I'm going to cut, not weld. Cut from here to here. And then I'm going to go and remove that edge that we're going to grab. This edge right here. And where is it? Remove. Here. Just trying to clean up my efforts so I get a stronger looking model so that when I do put the mesh smooth on here, because I will go back to it, it'll be cleaner. I think I need to cut something in there. And why am I doing that is because I want to, move this curve. Sometimes I need to probably pay more attention to my program. And if I'm not paying attention to your likes and everything over here, just ring out and let me know. I want to make sure everybody who likes, shares, is enthusiastic about what I'm doing and wanting to let everybody know about it. I read out their name and let them know that I appreciate them. So let me know if I miss anything. This is not quite going the way I want it to go over here, but we're getting there. Yeah, why is that happening? Let's not have that happen. Oops. There we go. Getting my 3D goggles back. Okay, a little bit better. Ooh, what's going on here? Whoa. Very unintentional consequence there. Very unintentional. Alrighty, well, we can fix that. That's easy enough. You go to there. And you go to there. Don't want any stray vertices because it will cause me issues. Now I've got this polygon is folded. I don't want that. So let's turn that guy. Did that fix it? It did. Alrighty. That's more what I'm after. Nice little subtle. Well, not so subtle because of the scale we're doing. Oh, did it again. I need to upgrade my software, but this stuff is way too expensive. Not even coffee will fix the cost of this software. It's just using higher end softwares is sometimes a bane. Alright, oh man, my screen is just covered. You guys don't see it. I can look over here, I guess. But it is covered in little menus. Alright. That's not the vertex I want. That is not the vertex you are looking for. Move along. This is the vertex I'm looking for. There we go. Just cleaning things up a little bit. And it's hard to get a lot done in an hour, especially when you're talking with everybody or having technical difficulties. Oh, I could have used this. I never get to use this. I was having technical difficulties. I could have done this. Whoop. There we go. I'm back. I could have used that. It was there for that very reason. Oh no, the camera went down. And used that, but no. I am not a professional streamer, that's for sure. Okay, back to over here. I am all kinds of I have a big screen, menu screen here, I got a menu screen here, I've got a menu burn here. You guys can't see it. It's really interesting. OBS doesn't pick this up, but in the software I'm picking it up. And clearly I'm out of practice. I have figured out a way to work using a workflow where I try not to hit that right menu, but I have been working in 3D Studio since the DOS days of Rev 2. I started on Rev 2. And it is so ingrained when we moved from DOS to Windows, this menu system. And it's the one thing that is ingrained when I'm going to do things. I'll hit that, a little mini menu pops up, you click the thing you're wanting to do, and you go about it. Instead of going, all right, hang on, go up here, pull down a menu, click it, come, and then go through the steps of the menu. And it's a very nice, convenient thing, but I don't know who did what. But the second I went to Windows 10, this problem that I'm describing has happened. And it has deterred me from working in 3D for many, many, many years. I'll work in it, but it got frustrating. I'd have to load and reload, which is what you guys saw happen. And it's annoying. I mean, it's just flat out annoying. I'm going to save. Speaking of annoying, we've only got about 4 minutes left in the stream anyway. So what needs to happen is I need to adjust my workflow to accommodate what I need to do. Since spending $3,000 a year on a piece of software is not an issue, or not an option, I'm just going to work on my workflow. Which brings up a point. Find what works best for you. For me, this is what's going to work best for me, is working with my workflow. For you, you might find, let's go work in Blender. It's free, or something to that effect. And I could do that, but I really, really do love this piece of software, so I'm going to stick with it. Find what works best for you. Find a workflow that works best for you. Do keyboard shortcuts. The keyboard shortcuts will make you far more efficient. Unfortunately, there's not a real workaround for the mini menus, and I haven't figured out a way to turn them off. If somebody out there knows how to, let me know. I am enjoying this, though, even with the frustrations, even with the technical kerfuffles. I'm enjoying the heck out of this, and I'm glad you guys came along for the ride. Are there any questions out there that you guys might have? Is there anything that you want me to do to describe in more detail or to show? I'm not going to be strictly just doing 3D. The cool thing about this model is even once I get it modeled, I'm going to have to unwrap it, which is figuratively unfolding the model so that it's flat, kind of like a pattern maker. You have a cylinder, but you want to cut fabric to go around the cylinder. What do is you make a pattern of the cylinder laid flat, and then you make your pattern, you cut out your material, and you sew that together. It's very similar in 3D, is I'll take the object, and it'll probably be in different places, and unfold the object so it's flat, so that I can take that into Photoshop or into Animate, or however I choose to put a skin, which is the gaming term, onto a model, and paint that skin so that when it's applied to the 3D model, it's everything's exactly where it needs to be. So if I were to unwrap my shirt, and paint Snoopy here needing a drink, I would paint Snoopy, and then I knew where I placed it by that unwrap, that it would be right here, and not over here someplace. It would be right here. And that's kind of the next steps that we're going to be doing with this. But 3D modeling is not the focus of this stream. 3D modeling is just one of the many aspects of this stream. So we're coming down to the hour. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me, as I said before. I also want to remind you guys that you are loved. You're absolutely loved. And you are deserving of that love. You are very worthy of that love. So the world out there is rough enough. Don't beat yourself up. Allow yourself to be loved. And with that, my friends, my family, those who I love, I am going to end the stream. And hopefully next week we'll get a little bit further in this model. But for now, thank you very much. If you would like to help me out, I'll have the link on the page that's coming up, the thank you page coming up, where you can buy me a cup of coffee and fuel my caffeine raging art engine. Until then, love you guys, stay safe, and be careful out there. Thank you.